Hello and good morning, and welcome to everybody joining me today on the podcast. And also, welcome to the lovely Sandra. Sandra Crathern is a very, very interesting person with an amazing background, and she's going to talk to us today, very appropriately, about how she completely changed her life, which is absolutely amazing for this time of year when we've all got our New Year's resolutions sort of half made, if not fully made. And so we're going to hear from her how she really, really did make big changes. And welcome and nice to see you, Sandra. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the privilege of asking me. I'm excited today. I went to a breakfast meeting this morning at 6:45 and I was like, oh, wow, I'm so excited about getting back and being on someone's podcast.
Well, just relax and enjoy the experience. Now, I've done a little bit of research, and on your website you say that you turn dreams into reality and good intentions into actions. Now, first of all, I'm going to ask you about your background and how you what made you realize that you needed to change, and tell me or tell us as much as you care to about your massive background changes that you made and why you did that.
Well, first and foremost, it would be nice to say what I do today.
Okay.
Which is I'm an NLP master practitioner life coach. So I help people where you're at,
yes,
and if you want to move on as opposed to where you've been.
Yes.
There is some connection, obviously.
Yes.
But my profession, my history is I'm a registered nurse. And I didn't swap professions till I was in my late 40s, actually. So I got married, like lots of women do, quite young, and had 3 children, and had what I call a hamster wheel life. So I got up in the morning and I took the children to school and I made the beds and then I cooked the dinner quickly and then I charged off to work as a practice nurse in a doctor's surgery part-time and then hurried home and I was constantly doing. And I didn't really feel very authentic. I was classed as morbidly obese. I was smoking a bit, drinking a bit to relax at the weekends. I wasn't really communicating effectively with my husband in a very authentic, from the heart way. It was like, yes, he should know, and why doesn't he help me? And so there was quite a bit of resentment, quite a little bit of blame. And I got to the age of 36, and my behaviour seemed to be quite extreme at times, with either eating or drinking or smoking or just outbursts periodically. And I just felt not very, as I said, authentic. So I happened to see, went away for a week's holiday without my husband. We'd got some marriage problems, and I just spent some time on my own where nobody had any expectations of me. I think that was the catalyst of the beginning. And a little bit earlier, my mother had taken me to a health spa as well. So I'd had an experience of what it's like to really take care of myself without other people wanting a bit of me.
Yes.
So I went on this holiday, and I sort of really started to try and find some sort of faith in something greater than me that would help me. And I came back with a bit more of a renewed heart. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I needed to do something different. And I happened to meet a life coach. Now, I didn't know he was a life coach, and where I met him, it was quite interesting the way we met. And I started to talk to him, and he was doing coaching on me. He was doing me coaching, which is interesting. I didn't know all that. And little by little, I started to look at my life in a different perspective and say, okay, what part do I play? Because it was all your fault and his fault and their fault.
Yes.
I started to look at, okay, what do I put up with? What is okay, what isn't? And there I am as a nurse telling people to stop smoking, stop drinking, lose weight, slow down, communicate your needs, and I wasn't doing it. How dare I really tell other people? So I decided that I would pursue a career in coaching after this happened, and I then proceeded over the next few years to lose 3 stone, stop smoking, stop drinking, went to marriage guidance with my husband. I'm delighted to say I'm still married to the same man.
Great.
And since I was 18 and I'm 55 in March. So that's,
wow.
And it's not just nice, it's amazing. We spend time together,
Yes.
go for bike rides. It's a very authentic, open, respectful relationship.
Brilliant.
So I thought I can help other people. You know, I tell you about the
Yeah.
transformation. It took time. It
Of
didn't just
course.
happen one morning. I had to start having some actions. And I got some help with the recovery group, which helped me with my weight and my food
Yes.
and so on, because I think I've got a bit of an addictive nature. So I got also some other help. And things started to turn around. I started to have a bit more faith, started to do, you know, I think it was Einstein said 1 ounce of action is greater than 1 ton of theory. I can give you as
What a
many
quote.
books in the world. I can give you as many books in the world, but I'll repeat it because it's so important. 1 ounce of action is greater than 1 ton of theory. So all the knowledge, if you're not doing little actions, nothing will change.
Yes.
So I started to see really significant changes, not only in my physical body, but how I felt about myself. And I thought, why am I just being a life coach? Let me specialise in health. Because of my background, I'm a registered nurse as well, so I've got that much more experience. And also my husband was really behind me, so I set up my business called Inner Vision, which is all about looking inside. I think it was 9 years ago in January. And I do one-to-one coaching with people to help them. I do a bit of Skype and phone coaching, and I also go on cruise ships and do talks. But the question you asked me was about my transformation. It didn't happen overnight, and it was very step by step. It was a slow process of starting to learn about myself.
What do you think, sorry to interrupt you, what do you think you tackled first? Do you remember where you began?
It was all like, what do I start with, you know?
Yes.
But I think for me, it really was about the drinking, I think, because I knew I drunk in an emotion. Drinking and smoking were two things that went together for me. And I thought, if I'm really a healthy person, I don't need to be doing that. So I got some help with that. And then once I'd started the ball rolling, my husband and I also went to marriage guidance at that time as well. It wasn't like all of the stuff. You know, a few years later I dealt with another thing.
Yes.
Looked at another thing.
But very brave. Very brave. And also you achieved a massive amount. Well done you.
Well, it is about, I do have a faith in a power greater than myself, so I don't, as much as it would be very nice to take all the glory, I do believe when you have faith.
Yes.
I don't proclaim to be a religious person. I used to proclaim to be, but I don't now. I think I am a spiritual person.
Yes.
So I do believe that there is a universal power that when we're really rock bottom, something, somehow or other, comes along to give you a little bit of a spark of there's hope.
Yes.
You know, mine was like a catalyst of drama.
Yes. But that could come in the form of a person, you know, supporting you, showing you, holding out a hand and maybe guiding you along the way, or more than one person. You start with one little trigger and that kind of builds to become a whole great, massive change.
Yes, the catalyst was that guy I told you about.
Yes.
Who helped me, and he to this day is my mentor.
That's wonderful.
And he is encouraging and inspirational. It doesn't mean today I'm levitating, Angela. You know, I've got issues. You know, and if I'm really truthful, I do have a little bit of workaholism because I want to preach to the world.
Yes.
I have created a tool myself that's unique, that helps people with the same journey, not the same journey, but a difficult journey of taking responsibility for themselves and moving forward. And this tool is amazing and it's life-changing.
Tell me something about that tool, because you say you on your website you've got a diagnostic tool, and now you've got me hooked. I want to know.
Yes, so I'm going to have to say I work with my clients. Normally we have 3 sessions. Start with I normally have a taster session so you can get the feel of what it's like. And then we look at this and someone said, why don't you put it on your website? Why would I put something on my website that's taken me painful years to work through and give it for free? You know,
Yes.
if you create something, a tool for the garden, you don't give it to everybody.
No.
You dyes it and you sell it.
Yes, but it's mentioned on your website.
Of course it
Yes.
is. That's the hook to get
Yes.
people to look at, oh, I'd like some of this.
Yes.
So it's a very simple tool, and it was created from another one. Do you know much about coaching?
I know some about coaching and some about NLP. I use NLP sometimes when it's appropriate.
This particular tool derived from there's a coaching, like it looks like a cake.
Yes.
And you cut it into sections. You put scores of 0 to 10 in.
Oh.
About areas of your life. It's a coaching wheel that's used.
Yes.
My health fountain tool is not dissimilar to that, but it's very colourful, it's visual, and it looks at your life across the complete board. You know, people look at me and they say, oh yeah, exercise and yoga and go to bed early. It's not just about that. If you aren't happy in your home, if you aren't happy in your relationships, if you don't adore your job or at least really enjoy it, all those things will affect your health.
Yes.
If you don't have fun. So I look at you and you look at you from a completely holistic
Yes. Excellent.
Right across the board. And even things that you might not even think. I mean, I've got fun on there. And some people say, what's that got? If you have no fun, you will not have a fulfilled life. We have to have some fun.
Exactly. And I like the fact that you take the whole person approach. And I see people quite a lot in business. They come to me because their problems they feel are business related. And when I apply a tool such as that, you discover that it's affected their whole life.
Yes.
And their relationships, their sleeping, their finances, everything. And because they come from a business perspective, I believe that you still have to include the whole of their life. So we're in strong agreement on that. That's great.
I think as well, though, looking at it from the perspective I look at it from, I know many, many, many therapists and counsellors who do not walk the walk. They talk the talk.
Yes.
That's a big ask. You know, I make sure that I go to bed really, really early. You know, for me, I mean, it might be late for other people, but I'm in bed normally by 10 o'clock asleep. I get up really early, I meditate. I have a system in place to take care of myself superbly so that I don't go into workaholism. Who wants to see a workaholic coach about workaholism?
Yes.
Who wants to see a stressed out time management, a stressed out coach for stress management? Who wants to see someone who's got dreadful time management to be their coach? So I almost have to, for my clients, people buy a bit of me. They need me to be in perfect condition so that I can be the best coach for them.
Exactly. Brilliant.
Because it has a massive knock-on effect.
Yeah.
When I take care of myself superbly, it has a massive knock-on effect in my workplace, to my family, to my friends. It's a massive domino effect.
Yes. And going back to your experiences, obviously you've already told us that you did quite a lot of learning yourself as you went through the process and acquired extra professional qualifications. But what were the main things you learned about yourself as you went through this transition period? I think I want my listeners and viewers to be able to tune into that because many of them will be feeling that way.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I get a little bit emotional, actually. I'm quite emotive. And I think what I really learned was how little I valued myself. Now, I think I'm a good mother, or have done my best. You know, they weren't beaten and abused, and they're all, you know, one of my sons kite surfed at the Brighton Pier, and he's third in the world for kite surfing, slalom kite surfing. You know, he's done really well, and they're wonderful men. But I would say to them, as children, you're beautiful and you're wonderful, and I love you, and don't worry about other people, and do your own thing, and respect yourself. And I wasn't that example because I didn't feel it. I couldn't look in the mirror and say, Sandra, you look beautiful, you're in a really lovely body, without feeling I was full of ego or you shouldn't do that. Yes. I valued other people, it felt, but didn't really value myself. And today I do value myself and I do respect myself, and that has a knock-on effect, like I said, to others. So I think I had low self-esteem, I didn't really feel I was good enough. a lot of those things,
Yes.
I think blessed me. I was a beautiful young woman. Why did I have such
Yes.
self-doubt?
Mm. Well, I guess you could say on some level we all have a bit of self-doubt, but I can identify with that. That's probably the reason why I went absolutely crazy to study and get professional qualifications and to be someone. I'm sure you can identify that too. Many listeners and viewers will identify with that. And I think that carrying around that feeling of low self-esteem can be very damaging and also affect the people that we meet because they will react to how we are.
I'm working with someone at the moment who's had a lovely young man who's had, young in his 30s, who's a father who's had problems with confidence and wants to present himself in an interview.
Right.
And it's so lovely to see him come out of himself and actually say, I'm really good at that.
To acknowledge his gifts, yes.
Yes, they did a survey of children in a school. I can't remember the specific study that was done, and they went into a group of 5-year-olds and said, who's good at what? And all 90% of the hands went up, I'm good at this, miss, I'm good at that, I'm good at this. They went into another class of 10 to 11-year-olds. I think there was only 20% put their hand up. And that's what we don't, because we have this sense of, I mustn't say that about myself.
Yeah.
And also a lot of us don't even believe it anyway.
Well, I think it's knocked out of us at school that it's not, or it used to be considered not British to be bragging,
Exactly, and I don't think it is bragging. I think if we're expecting other people to take care of themselves and love themselves, and that's the way we speak to our children, is to love and respect yourself and look after your needs and communicate what you need. And we're not, children do what you do, not what you tell them. They see your example. So if you swear constantly in the car, guess what? Your children will swear in the car.
Yeah.
If you charge about manically with anxiety, then guess what? Your children will...
Anxious children.
Copy what you do. They love to copy.
Yes, they do. Well, they admire their parents. They're, proud of them. And so at this time of year especially, which is, I'm so pleased we're doing this interview now, what would you recommend other people who are thinking about making changes consider, based on your experience, before they even make their New Year's resolutions?
Well, first of all, don't make a New Year's resolution. There's studies also that say within 2 weeks that they are broken. And then what we do is we feel guilty. And then we feel ashamed. And then whatever we do, when we feel guilty and ashamed, ignore it, smoke, drink, eat, go into workaholism, whatever. Yeah. That's unrealistic, I think. If you want to make changes, they need to be done on a regular, consistent basis with perseverance, consistency, determination, support. Obviously, come and see me. I'm the best coach in the world. Don't judge people. I'm there to motivate and support them. That would be my ideal.
Yes.
First and foremost, okay, what do I really want? Maybe sit down and brainstorm, what do I want? And there's a SMART concept: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timeable. Have a look at what you want and measure it next to that, okay? And then get some help, whether it be counsellor, coach.
Yes.
Talk to someone. And if you can work with someone at what stops you, most people sort of know what they want.
Yes.
But they often get barriers that come along, and what I do is work with people with what stops you. What stops you getting there? Because you know what you want. Why is it then that you...
Or who stops you?
Yes.
Is it the role that you play in life?
Absolutely.
Or would that interfere with other people's roles? And would they feel they'd try and stop you from making changes?
And so many things come up.
Yes.
In coaching. So I would suggest that everybody on the planet get a coach. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
And start to look at how you like to see yourself. I want to see I've got a notice in my kitchen that says when I got my first job going on a cruise ship, so I had this wonderful holiday, I did 5 talks about motivation and about inspiration and about taking care of yourself and wonderful effective communication. Did all these talks, and I went on the ship and I had to do 5 talks, and I was so excited, and I thought, wow, look at me, And in my kitchen, I've got a poster that reminds me, like a plaque, that says, it's very nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Excellent.
And that's something I carry with me, because I cannot look externally for happiness.
Yes.
In exam results, in going on cruise ships, in working in Harley Street, which is what I'd like to do in the future. Those things won't bring me happiness. The happiness comes from inside.
Yes.
They're wonderful things. So it's about putting the glasses on the other way around. It's looking inside.
Yes. And actually, through the correct inquiry, finding the correct solutions.
Yes.
And the methods, knowing the methods. Most of us just don't know how to make change.
That's
so,
right.
When you're guided, then you can make it, and you're supported, so you feel you're not alone. And then learning to trust and value yourself and your own choices adds tremendously. I so admire the work that you're doing, and it can apply in business as well as in social life, because we're talking about whole life, aren't we?
Work-life balance. I go out on my bicycle regularly. It's a fun thing here. And when I'm feeling a bit down, when you get those days when your eyebrows are a bit low and you think, oh, there's so much to do, and I just stop what I'm doing, unless there's something urgent, and I jump on my bicycle. I live just to my right here. You can't even really see it, but there I have a beautiful view of the sea from my bedroom.
Oh, wow.
And so I live right.
Can't quite see the sea, but
it's lovely, and I'm very blessed. And I go on my bicycle and I just start to do a gratitude list and say, it's not all about work. I want to be leaving the planet saying I enjoyed my time here. It wasn't all work or family, that I enjoyed being a human being, and I looked after myself, and I felt respected, and I felt loved, and I cared about myself and valued myself. Those are the things I want to say on my deathbed, instead of, I should have had more fun, I should have done this, and I should have done that.
Yes.
So appreciating, I think, when we have difficult times, that there are strategies, that each and every one, that's what I help people with, strategies to help them to live the best they can. Because we've got stuff. Don't matter who you are, you've got stuff going on.
Yes, we all have. And so just finally, can you please tell me what you're doing now, and how people can learn more about that, and your contact details would be great.
What I'm doing right now is I've got a cup of hot water here. Just to say to my patients, drink more water. And I went to the doctor's one day. The doctor said, you've got problems with your kidneys. I said, well, you don't drink enough water. So how can I tell anyone? So, but I don't like water. So I found a way of drinking water, and that's in a Royal Dalton teacup, and it's hot water. And that's transformed.
Feels special.
I can do it now, because I don't even think I could be coffee or anything. So what am I doing right now? Well, obviously this wonderful podcast.
Here's mine.
Which is wonderful. I have got some plans that may be doing some work in London, which I'd like to do. I've got another cruise next year booked in.
Great.
I'm doing some one-to-one coaching. I've got a few new clients that I'm working with in the new year that want to work on managing their time better and taking care of themselves better. So I've got my finger in quite a few pies. I've been in a recent magazine for Brighton, have got a magazine called Latest, and a little TV channel, so I've been in a magazine of theirs. I've got some talks with a care agency, because I'd love to work with nurses. That's my dream.
Yes.
To work with nurses. So, and I'm hopefully going to be part of their training schedule. So when the new carers come in, I'm at the beginning looking at how they can take care of themselves.
Great.
Healthy employee.
Yes.
Employer,
And they can take on board what you teach them and pass that on in due course. So you're reaching a lot of people.
It has a ripple effect to everybody. So I have my finger in lots of pies.
I should say that coming from Brighton myself, having lived there for 25 years, we didn't meet there, did we? We met in Harley Street.
I live in Worthing, which is
Worthing, just outside of
God's
Brighton.
waiting room.
But we met in Harley Street. Yes, at a practice there. So we soon discovered that we had a lot of ideas in common, and I'm so pleased you were able to come on the show today and spare your very busy time, spare some time with us to talk
It's
about.
my pleasure. And I will still make time to go for coffee with my son's girlfriend this afternoon on my bicycle because the sun's come out. I'll do a few hours in the office.
Great.
It's all about balance.
It is.
About balance.
Life balance. So can you please repeat your website address and your contact details for people who want to know more about what you're doing and how you can help them?
Right. Well, my contact number is Worthing 01903 520369, but the best number to get me on is my mobile, which is 0793 261 8166. My website is www.innervision.co.uk, and inner is spelt with an A, INNA, and then the word vision, innervision.co.uk, and my email is sandra@innervision.co.uk. So, as I've said, I'm always happy to speak to people about what I do. One thing I do that's really exciting, even if you never want to work with me, is bi-weekly. The last 8 months or so, I've been doing these vlogs, which are such fun. So 1 week there's a blog on my website, and 1 week there's a blog. So it's a 2 or 3 minute, no more than 3 minutes, video of me talking about health in a fun way that people can actually access and think, I could do that.
Excellent.
So that's something I do, which is free, so people are welcome.
Oh, so can people subscribe to that, or do they just go to your website and watch?
Yeah, it's on my website and watch it. So that's something that you can do on a regular basis. Like I said, they're bi-weekly, and they're fun. More fun.
So that's www.innervision.co.uk.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Sandra, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Short and sweet, but everybody's in such a hurry these days, and how nice that they've got a chance to slow down a bit over the holidays and to consider what changes they want to make in their life, and of course now they can get in contact with you and tackle those long-standing issues that they've always wanted to do something about. That's great.
So can I give one tip before I go?
Yes, please.
What I'd like everybody to do every day, which is a big commitment, is just for a moment, just stop wherever you are, close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths and reconnect with the present moment now. Most of our pain is in yesterday or tomorrow. Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. Yesterday's finished with. Just get the lessons from there.
Yes.
And tomorrow's not here yet. So just to be present in the moment with yourself, if people could do that on a regular basis, that was most probably one of the most first groundbreaking things I did, was slow down, take a breath and connect with myself on a regular basis.
That's brilliant, thank you.
And it doesn't cost any money and it's easy.
No, exactly. Well, I just want to say thank you to you, and thank you to all my listeners and viewers for tuning in to the Mastery Show today, Business Mastery Show. And thank you so much, Sandra. And we'll speak soon, I'm sure.
Happy Christmas to you.
Oh, and to you. Bye for now, and thank you. Bye. Bye, all my listeners and viewers. Have a happy holidays, and see you shortly in the new year. Thanks. Bye.